Hello, this is Angela Logan, and welcome to Everyday Shenanigans. Um, Today's a good day. I had a wonderful day in church. The pastor gave the word. He was outstanding as usual. The choir sang, they were beautiful, and I want to thank them all, the director and the musicians. They did a wonderful job. Sometimes we don't give, credit to the musicians and the director, but hey, you all did a fantastic job, and I want to thank you. Thank you. Because I truly enjoyed myself today. What I want to talk about today is I wanted to find something happy to talk about, something good, but nothing had really just jumped across that piqued my interest. But what I was wanting to talk about briefly is choices that we make, things we do to ourselves, things we bring to ourselves that may not be good for us, to us, and then we end up having to pay the piper because of the choices that we have made. And this story was an incident that happened last year. A young lady by the name of Rannita Williams was 27 at the time, three children, living in Shreveport, Louisiana. Most of you probably know her name. She was gunned down in her home by a gentleman that she had been seeing. His name is Jonathan Robinson. He was 36 at the time. She was 27. Most of you know the story. She was on Facebook Live last year, last April 12th of 2018. She was streaming live, and he gunned her down. The dispute was about her putting some post on Facebook about the other young lady he was seeing, and so one thing led to another. Busted in her home, and he gunned her down live, and he made her deliberately, get on the internet, although she had blocked her Facebook page, whatever, but she was able to go live and stream from her phone. I guess I decided to talk about this because the ID channel has done a documentary about her story, and I am an avid ID channel fan. I love true crime. I know it sounds a little bit morbid, but I'm sure there's some others who also like true crime. But I like hearing stories about other people's lives, even though they're tragic. It's just something about getting information and dissecting, the who's and the what's and the whys, and because they are real people. And I guess that's the message I want to bring today is the choices that we make, you know, be it how we talk, how we act, the people we engage in with. You have to be very careful the people you choose to be around, especially women, men as well, but women, we tend to be more needy creatures. We tend to be more lonely. So we take up with all types of people, men and women. But specifically, men, we have to be very leery of the people we engage in. My thing is this girl lost her life because she engaged with this guy who was, obviously had somebody else. I don't know all the details because it's been a while since I had, read about the story, but it came across my Facebook page today because of the ID Discovery channel doing investigation. Discovery Channel was doing has done a documentary about her storyline, about her life rather, and so I want you all to check that out. It should be on the ID channel right now. But my thing is the choices we make. You see, had she not gotten involved with him, she'd probably be alive today. Now, one could say she brought it on herself by airing her business on there, provoking him. Well, some people think the other young lady played a part in it as well because, they both were bantering back and forth. And see, that's where it's very dangerous because why do that? You see, you're not thinking somebody's going to come harm you. I'm sure she didn't think she was going to be harmed. She didn't think that he was going to harm her or that young lady would come find her where she lived because he lived in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. So you see, he traveled a nice little distance just to carry out this murder. So who would think, because I'm messing with this man who also has another woman, that I'm going to end up dead? But you see, you can't think for other people because you don't truly know other people. This gentleman already had another kidnapping charge against him for holding a woman hostage or whatever in an apartment. He barricaded himself or locked himself in a home with this other lady he dated several years back. He was a convicted felon. So he already had a bad rap already for assaults. So what you have to tell yourself is, I don't know if she knew that or not, but she had to have known that things weren't going great with him. Because for her to be going back and forth on Facebook with another young lady, it tells you she had knowledge that he wasn't proper. So my only thing is, be careful of the people you choose to date, to mess around with, marry, all of that. Because I think people show you signs, and as Maya Angelou once said, people show you who they are, and they do show you who they are. Now, mind you, her mother, Miss Anita Williams, forgave him. He apologized to her 2 times or so during the court proceedings, and she accepted his apology. They did negotiations with the state back and forth for months. She never let anyone know. They were wanting to put him to death, but she decided she didn't want to kill anybody. She felt like that wasn't her place. There was nobody's place to do that. So he got life on top of 100 years for shooting at the police. It takes a noble person to forgive someone who stole their child's life. And that's another thing. Forgiveness is a very hard thing to do, especially when we feel like we've been wronged by people. Maybe not as severe as murder, but it takes a noble person to forgive a person who has wronged them, especially kill their child. That's basically my message today, is that be very careful of the people you take up with. And if you can, while you're living, try to forgive if you can. It's a very hard thing for some of us. I know I'm one of them. But looking at this story, with all the tragedy that ensued, this lady found it in her heart, despite how her child ended up in the place that she ended up. She forgave this monster who killed her child. So please check out the story of Miss Rannita Williams, better known to her friends and family as Nunu, on the ID Discovery Channel. And you all have a lovely week, and I will be back with another video soon. Thanks a lot.